Here is how I'm setting up my sites for success. Client sites, personal sites. Today I'm going to share ideal client persona and pain points for digital marketing for a building inspection service. Now, this is and stems as the foundation of the campaign. This falls in the competitor research, keyword research phase. This is where we find out if we're going to be doing push or pull marketing, reactive marketing, intrusive marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. This is phase one of understanding exactly what services are being offered and the kind of tone and who we're going to be constantly speaking to across our service pages, across our About Us pages. First, I look at the industry snapshot, exactly what we do, building inspection services in where, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, wherever, they're just sort of locations. We do pre-auction, building, pest, etc. Our value proposition, service offers peace of mind. So this is basic stuff that everyone will be able to generate pretty quickly. Now, who our target market? Primarily B2C individuals, first-time home buyers, property investors, and new home buyers. By the way, this is all going to be published on the site. It's just slapped up in a very ugly manner right now. I will try pretty it up. So this is the initial explainer of what we do. Everyone has this, what we don't do, our reviews and things like that. Where this gets interesting is this ideal client persona and ICP segments. This is where we laser focus on our who we're speaking to, who we're selling to. Now, segment A is first home buyers in Melbourne. This is the segment that is the strong fit due to the emphasis on peace of mind and informed decisions, which directly addresses the high anxiety and lack of experience this group faces, right? Segment B is property investors and repeat buyers. And segment C is new home builders and owners. Now, it's really important this stuff is on paper because then this helps any web developer, any copywriter create landing page text, create social media posts, and this makes it easy then to interview the business owner with these directions. Now, this is a very quick general dive. I go a bit deeper. Avatar 1, first home buyer in Melbourne. Fictional name, Sarah Chen, 32, marketing coordinator, lives in inner city Melbourne. Her background, now this is obviously fictionalized and made up, but all of this is from deep research. Like, this stuff used to be so expensive to create and get this information. She has a stable income. She's navigating the competitive Melbourne property market for the first time, feels overwhelmed by the process, and is often pushed by agents to make quick decisions, right? Her goals and motivations: to buy a safe, structurally sound home without hidden issues that will deplete her savings. She wants peace of mind. Okay, this is number one avatar because we're going to be interviewing the business owner. We're going to be interviewing the lead building inspector. We want to speak to this, who was it? Sarah Chen. Yeah, Sarah Chen. Now, her pain points and challenges. This is vital because if we answer these questions on the website or service pages as an FAQ, that gets cited by AI. That's what helps you get brand visibility and general visibility across search engines. Fear of buying a money pit due to hidden defects, structural, pest, water damage. Right now, we're diving quite deep into this specific niche, but you can see how these pain points and challenges would apply to any space, whether I'm doing this for a dental, whether I'm doing this for a builder, for pest controller or whatnot. Lack of technical knowledge to assess property conditions or understand building jargon. Now, each of these avatars that I've created has these specific pain points. Her SEO behaviors and content needs. These might be her topics of interest, long tail questions. What are the essential checks for first-time home buyers in Melbourne? Make a checklist. Interview the building inspector. This should be a dedicated page. Might be an FAQ. Might be on the About Us. This should be a social media video. How much does a pre-purchase building inspection cost in Melbourne, etc.? So quite a big list. Then problem aware and solution aware keywords. Melbourne hidden house defects. First home buyer, peace of mind inspection, right? These are like the fan out queries that you might see ChatGPT ask from the root query. I got to wrap up. Time is limited. Avatar number 2, property investors and repeat buyers in Melbourne. Before I finish that, what else did I have here? Objections and hesitations. It's an extra expense I hadn't budgeted for. The real estate agent said it's a perfect home. What if the inspection finds something bad and I miss out on the property, right? I don't have time to wait for a report. The auction is this weekend. Can't I just trust the builder if it's new? Wild. This is just so vital, right? Throw that to the building inspector, and if he's passionate about what he does, he will have a lot to say to this, right? So every one of my clients gets this drill down interview, whether it's an online call and I grab the transcript. Not everyone wants to be in front of the camera. Sometimes it's the transcript, the 2-hour transcript that I find is most valuable because that helps me make meaningful, flavored content that gets cited by AI. Avatar 2, property investors and repeat buyers in Melbourne. Fictional name, David Lee. Why is it going the Asian names? 48, property portfolio manager based in Melbourne. His demographic. Goals and motivations: minimize the financial risk on property investments, avoid unexpected maintenance costs that eat into rental income, ensure legal compliance for tenants, blah, 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 blah. Pain points and challenges: identifying properties with hidden costs, the same as the other ones, but in a different eyeballs, ensuring compliance with rental property safety, efficiently managing inspections for multiple properties. SEO behaviors: how do building and pest inspections impact investment profitability? So different questions that they might be asking. Problem aware solutions, Melbourne investment property risk assessment. Look, a lot of these I need to back up with keyword volume data, because a lot of the time, if there's not enough, it might be like 0 Swift building inspections for investors. There might not be much traffic on the word Swift, right? The deeper in the avatars that we get, the less likely there might be dedicated search volume. New home builders, owners in Melbourne. Goals and motivations: ensure their new home is built to Australian standards. Pains and challenges: lack of technical knowledge to supervise construction quality effectively. This is big. Fear of builders cutting corners or using standard materials. All of this goes into a barrel of interview questions, which I will share below. Let me just scroll down. Now, this is a really deep, collected version of all the pain points. It might be top frustrations, obstacles regarding building inspection services, finding a truly independent and unbiased inspector. Clients worry about inspectors being too lenient or biased towards sellers or builders. Right, understanding complex technical reports, speed of service and report delivery, right, cost versus perceived value, so unmet needs and gaps, more accessible interactive reports that clearly explain findings in layman's terms. All of this then goes into this bucket of things to ask, pages to build, with minimal keyword cannibalization, hopefully. Post-purchase regrets with similar products or services. I wish I had paid for a more thorough inspection than the cheap one. Missed the rotten floorboards, right? The report was just too, I don't even know, boilerplate text. It didn't give me any real insights to my report, so too templated. Day in the life. So it goes quite deep. Now, I'm going to share what then helps me interview the client. Let's just zoom out a bit and then I will come down here. Here we go. 100 interview and directional topics questions for the lead building inspector. In other words, the business owner, right? 10 questions on general expertise, core trust building about the lead inspector services. Tell us about your journey into building inspections. What sparked your passion? Let them chat. What makes your building inspection service different from others in Melbourne? How does your 14 years of registered builder directly benefit your inspection clients? In this particular case, they were a builder for many years. Can you explain what, like, just genuine questions that a potential buyer might want to hear the answers to? And I use these as just chatting points. A lot of the time I'll give the builder I'll give them a beer and we just get chatting. I set up the camera, I set up the microphones, and we just, if a question is not relevant or they need to think about it or script it, we just jump to the next question. Walk us through a typical inspection day for you. What specific tools and the latest technology do you use? All of these questions are stemming from Google's Rater guidelines and the way they trust content. Trust and transparency. We're literally using EAT words in the post. What steps do you take to avoid conflicts of interest? Why do you ask clients to ask questions during and after the inspection? Once again, you skip the ones that are not relevant. AI has a tendency of generating sometimes fluff, so it's a lot of the time the questions at the top cover the questions at the bottom. But this is my protocol with all clients these days, because the About Us page is one of the most important pages on the website, and if I get unique flavored content, the pages sound less generic like everybody else's pages that looked up 10 competitors in the following suburb or city and just had AI just rewrite it, and it sounds generic, sounds like you put it through Grammarly and it spat out something super politically correct. Yeah, 100 interview questions. Sometimes I'll dive a bit deeper, but you throw this into any industry and you've got some valuable research data that helps any campaign. Hope that helps. I can share the prompt that I use to create this with the help of a firecrawl.dev and Ahrefs, but even on its own, without plugging into data, it could generate some good results. And just sometimes it might hallucinate it if you don't provide it keyword volumes and things like that. Talk soon. Bye-bye.